Women hate good-looking, handsome, conscious, aware men because when a guy is good-looking or he has the genetics that a woman finds attractive, she expects that she's going to get something out of that. So if he's good-looking, if he's handsome, but he's also conscious and he's also aware, that causes problems with her. Because think about like a good-looking guy or what you would think is an alpha or a Chad or a Tyrone, and say he's just given a few $1,000,000 randomly out of nowhere. So if he's just given a few $1,000,000, the natural inclination as a man is to understand your raise of status. It's to understand how you've increased. So as a man with millions of dollars that's considered good looking or handsome or Chad, a Tyrone, or an alpha, it's like the natural hardwiring to, oh, all these women like me. So you're just going to go have sex with a bunch of women or have relationships with a bunch of women. And so that's like the natural hardwiring of your DNA, of your nature. But see, women benefit from this. So when the guy is handsome or he's good looking, alpha, Chad, Tyrone, and he gets those millions of dollars and he's conscious or he's aware and he says, I'm going to put this in the bank. I'm going to spend this on myself. I'm going to invest. I'm going to start a business. I'm going to start an art. I'm going to start a craft. I'm going to be an entrepreneur. I'm going to be smarter about my raise of status. I'm not going to use my raise of status to just get as many women as possible. I'm going to use my raise of status to be more selective and to be more conscious about what I'm doing. And so women hate this because they can't benefit from it, right? If he's just the good-looking, good genetics guy with a bunch of money, and he's out there just like having sex left and right with no protection, then she can cash in on that money. But if he's conscious, if he's aware, if he understands his position, if he's actually taken the time to say, I'm going to do some introspection, I'm going to do some reflection on myself, and yes, I was born with these genetics, I was born with this circumstance. I'm not just going to use that circumstance blindly. I'm going to think about my circumstance long term. Women hate that because the guy is being conscious, the guy is being aware, right? He's being too aware. He's being too conscious. He's being too observant of reality. So if he's getting these millions of dollars out of nowhere, he should be sharing that pot of gold with a bunch of different women so that they can also come up, so that they can also have a good life. If he's just saying, no, I'm aware of this, then it limits her options. It's kind of like a video I made a couple videos ago about NBA players and NFL players and how a majority of them go broke within a couple years after retirement or they're financially struggling. And a lot of that is women. A lot of that is your family. A lot of that is your friends. It's the people around you. It's your circle because people know you got the money, and so things change. People around you change. How they act towards you changes. So people, whenever we're talking about like the positive result or the person who has the positive thing as opposed to the negative thing, someone always thinks like, oh, of course it's a 100% positive. It's a 100% blessing, whether it's looks or money or anything that you think is the positive thing. Someone always thinks, oh, must be nice, right? But they don't understand how many stresses that can bring to somebody's life if they're not careful, if they're not observant of what that's doing to the people around them. So the good-looking, handsome, conscious, aware guy, if he's all of those things, the woman doesn't like that necessarily because if he's conscious and aware, then he's going to understand himself, right? Like a good-looking guy that is handsome, that's conscious, that's aware, he's considered an alpha, a Chad, or a Tyrone. If he's understanding of his circumstance to the point of, okay, like my parents had sex at a certain time and I was created, so I have this genetic combination for myself and my home circumstance, my city, my schools, the people around me, like the guy that's actually taking this stuff into account in terms of what his current position is today, he's able to operate that position long term. So from the woman's perspective, she doesn't want him to have that much consciousness or that much awareness because she can't come in and benefit off of that if he's too conscious or he's too aware. You know, everybody thinks like the good-looking guy, the handsome guy, the alpha, the Chad, the Tyrone, the good genetics, if he's not trying to get as much pussy as he can, or if he's not looking for a girlfriend, or if he's not looking for a wife, right? If he's not doing one of those three things, right, and not looking for as much pussy as he can, and not looking for the girlfriend, not looking for the wife, then what's wrong with him? Is he gay? Is he just he has no game? Is he just weird? Is he just like what's wrong with him psychologically? Is this guy a psychopath? Is he a sociopath? Is he like, you know, it's just like they throw out these terms and they don't understand it. Like how could someone be heterosexual? How can someone be good looking? How could someone be smart? How can someone be all three of those things? It's like a Venn diagram, right? You got being straight on one of the circles, you've got being intelligent on one circle, and you've got being handsome on another circle. 3 circles for the Venn diagram. The middle part is blacked out because you can't be all three, right? You can't like if you're handsome and you're smart, then clearly you're gay, right? Or if you're smart and you're straight, then clearly you're ugly, right? Or if you're good looking and you're straight, then clearly you're dumb, right? That middle part's blacked out. You can't be all three, right? Nobody can come in and leverage anything off of you if you're all three. So it's just like, this is just how it works. Like women hate that good looking guy who's considered an alpha, considered a chatter Tyrone, that wants to actually take some time to evaluate his circumstance, to evaluate what he's been given and how he can use that in his life going forward. Because you don't necessarily have to use what you were given in the way that other people think that you should use it. You know, if that good-looking, handsome guy is given millions of dollars randomly, people think like, oh, well, you have millions of dollars, you can take care of multiple women, and you're good-looking, you're handsome, you're an alpha, you're a Chad, you're a Tyrone. Why wouldn't you just be having unprotected sex with a bunch of these women? Why wouldn't you? Like, what's wrong with you if you're not doing that? So it's like, it's weird if he's given all of that, and he chooses to, you know, I'm going to take these millions, I'm going to start a business. I'm going to write a book. I want to be an author. I want to write a book, and I'm going to be this author, and I'm going to write this book. I'm going to start this YouTube channel. I'm going to start this business. I'm going to get into like working out and fitness. I'm going to be like a personal trainer. I'm going to open this gym. I'm going to invest in this stock, invest in someone else's business that I see potential in, just save the money in the bank for a rainy day. Like, they don't get the guy who's conscious, who's aware, who's thinking about things long term, who actually wants to look at his circumstance. Because whenever we're talking about these things too, like I mentioned in some videos about whether it's looks or money, and I go over like the advantages and disadvantages of certain things. And whenever I mention disadvantages of being handsome or being good looking, there's always at least 1 or 2 comments that think you're just a complete idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Of course it's an advantage. What are you saying? Or just like, oh, like easy for you to say. Like, it's always going to be those comments. But you see, like, you don't understand the flip side of things. Like, if you're not aware of yourself, that being handsome or being good looking could be a negative, right? It could impact you negatively if you're not aware of what you're doing, right? So like the perception that this good-looking, handsome guy with good genetics, alpha, Chad, Tyrone, he's given millions of dollars. Like, you don't have to just be the like guy that's just like fucking a bunch of women unprotected, right? You don't have to prove anything to other guys around you. You don't have to, like, it's not a notch count. It's not like, it's not about how many women you have sex with. It's not about how much money you make. It's not about the house you live in. It's not about the car you drive. It's about what you're doing with your circumstance to live a good life. Everybody's looking for that freedom. Everybody's looking for that that next step in their life. Everybody wants an evolution of themselves. So even if you're in your 20s and you're working a minimum wage job, you know, do what you need to do, and start at the bottom somewhere. Work your way up. There's no shame in working a minimum wage job. Even in your 40s, your 50s. What if you're in your 50s right now and you're working a minimum wage job? Don't let people tell you that it's too late for things. You can save money. You can have multiple streams of income. Who's to say that you're in your 50s, you're at your minimum wage job Monday through Friday, you want to do something on the weekend, do something on the weekend. You don't have to just like use it as the, oh, well, I hate my job on 5 days, I'm just going to rest on 2 days. No. Like, if you want to be a photographer, get your camera, go outside, take pictures, you put it online, start selling it, get prints out, do what you need to do on your Saturday and Sunday. Be a photographer, go into like cooking, and like you want to be like a personal chef or something on the side, and you maybe go to culinary school, or maybe just like you're just really good at cooking naturally, and you just make different recipes, and now you start a YouTube channel with like recipes online, and that grows, or like just anything. Like you don't have to get into this box where like you work 5 days a week and you hate Mondays, you love Fridays because you hate your job, and then you just spend it drinking. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, you spend it drinking because you just hate your life, and then you just go back to it Monday. Sunday night is depressing. Like, you don't need to do that. You can think of multiple streams of income. You can be conscious of your circumstance. Like, don't let anyone tell you that it's too late for something. You know, people have that mentality, like I'm talking about with this video, where it's just like people have that mentality. I'm in my 50s. And so it's too late for me to do anything, right? It's too late for me to be anything, because people expect of me at 50 that I'm just old and I'm in this circumstance, and that's just what I'm going to be until I'm dead, because who's going to start something new at 50? You hear that all the time. You're talking to a family member or someone that you care about, and they're just down on themselves and they're depressed, and it's like, it's not too late. Fucking like get your life in control. Like take it upon yourself to live the life you want to live. It's not too late because you're older, or your body's sagging, or people tell you that it's too late. No. It's the same thing with this video. It's like just because you're good looking or handsome, or you're Chad, Tyrone, and Alpha, and you're given millions of dollars, or you have a circumstance, like, you should just be partying. You should just be going to the club. You should just be having a bunch of sex with women. It's like, so if you're like working on a business, right? If you use that advantage, what they think is an advantage, if you use that to work on a business, or to set your life up long term, people think it's weird. Oh, that's weird. What's he doing? Like, he should just be at the club, just like trying to get as many women as he can. The makeup and high heels, the dresses. He should be going after those women. Like, it's weird that he wants to be conscious. If this guy could get 100 women, why is he settling for 2 women? But it's like a video I made before about like how to make money from women instead of spending money on women. People have this mentality too, where it's just like, if you're that good-looking, genetically superior alpha Chad Tyrone, like, you should just be looking to have sex with a bunch of women. Even if you could create like a purse line as a man, like you could create custom purses, and you could start selling them. Other men might think you're gay. They might think you're weird. Other women might think you're gay. Other women might think you're weird. But if women are buying those purses, like say you take that cross-section of 100 women, 98 women might buy those purses. You just came up in life. Like 98 women handed you money for that purse. Have sex with 2, right? 98 and 2. As opposed to thinking that like your worth as a man is how many women you have sex with. So you're going to have sex with 98 and only 2 pay you, and then you just have like a bad job. You go in on Monday and you hate it. Friday you love it because you hate your job, but you had sex with 98 women, but only 2 pay you. But you're in that cycle through your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. Like, that's not winning, right? It's not winning if a guy has sex with 1,000 women. It's not losing if a guy's a virgin at 30. So you got to understand these spectrums of sex and money and looks and certain dynamics, because it's all relative. Like, who's to say what the winner is? Who's to say what the loser is? You know, the way I look at it, like I was saying, if you take that cross-section of 100 women, what would you rather do as a man? Like, really, would you rather have sex with 98 and only 2 pay you? Or would you rather have sex with 2 and 98 pay you? Right? Like, if I start a YouTube channel and I take that seriously, why should I not be focused on that? Like, why would I not be more focused on a YouTube channel that I could help other people? It feels good when people like the video, when people comment on the video. I feel like I'm doing something that people appreciate. That's a good feeling. I could eventually turn that into residual income, and I can keep doing it, and it inspires me to keep making videos. And it's just like an awesome feeling. Why should I just be concerned as a man in my 20s? Why is it just like, oh, like, go have sex with as many women as you can, or just like look for a girlfriend, look for a wife? It's like, well, I could, if I'm 26 and I look for a wife, she, you know, I maybe I marry this girl at 26, right? And then she looks at me and I only have over 1,000 YouTube subscribers, right? So that's like her perception of my level. So she meets another guy. He's 36 and he has millions of followers, and he has a private plane, and he takes her on his plane, and so she's looking at him as this better option, right? But I'm investing all my time in her on a girl that's just going to evaluate me on my follower count, my subscriber count, my money. And then in 40 years, if my YouTube channel goes somewhere and I have to the point where I'm making residual income, now she comes back at 30 saying, oh, I always saw this in you, or oh, like I made a mistake, or like, you know, like what, like I shouldn't be conscious, I shouldn't be aware, I shouldn't be like focused on myself. That's what I mean by this. It's like, if you're considered that good-looking guy, that Chad, that Tyrone, that alpha, women don't like that. They don't like that they can't capitalize off of your intelligence, right? Women don't like when a guy is like too good-looking or too intelligent. If he's too good-looking, you know, a lot of women in that makeup culture, they feel like they should be the feminine, they should be the pretty. And so when the guy is good-looking or better-looking than her, she feels like he's stealing her thunder, right? And it's just it pisses her off. Or if he's too intelligent, then he knows what's going on. He knows red pill. He knows the game of things. And so she can't have him be like too good looking or too intelligent or too red pill. So she needs things in the sense of where she can control it. But then if she controls it too much, now she's controlling you, and then she looks for her next conquest because it's not attractive anymore that she's able to control you. So whether you're, you know, good looking, handsome, alpha, Chad, Tyrone, you know, just like, you don't need to just fall in line of what people think about you. You know, like what they think you should be doing. Like, you should just be going to the club, the bar, having a bunch of sex with women. If you're not doing that, then that's weird or gay or whatever. Get out of that. Be conscious. Be aware of your circumstance. If you came from a rich family, understand what that means to start with finances in the world. Take advantage of that. Understand your fortune. Same thing with looks and genetics. Understand your fortune. Don't just fall into the stereotype of Chad and think you just need to like have sex with a bunch of women to prove yourself as a man. Use what you have. Use your paradigm. Use what you were born with to live the best possible life for yourself long term.